you're seeing in The Last Dance, Jordan looked totally spent after winning a championship. You know, he wins
Exactly.
three in a row, and first one was joy, second one was overjoy, third one was relief. You know, like you're seeing that.
I just started watching. I got about 4 in, and it's so good. It kind of brings you back to the NBA before the Bulls conquered. You know, you had the Lakers, the Celtics, then the bad boy Pistons, the thugs that they were. And then the whole Jordan thing, you kind of felt, at the beginning you felt happy for Jordan when he finally broke through and they beat those bullies and then they swept the Lakers. And then, I didn't even realize the triangle came from this guy named Tex. Guy named, of all people, Tex, created the trend. And then what do you call ran with it, Phil Jackson. You got to remember, Phil Jackson was a, bohemian kind of a real hippie guy, but smart, played under Ren Holtzman. And he played on those smart Knicks teams, so he was always a guy ahead of his time.
Hey, man, you kind of hit on something. Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. You kind of hit on something here, Nick, that, for Knicks fans to see a guy from the Red Holtzman, Walt Clyde Frazier, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere era coaching Michael Jordan, ripping out the Knicks' best chances to win a championship since the Red Holtzman years, heart, and show it to him pumping. That was awful tough for me to handle as it was happening, and then reliving it. You're going to see in upcoming episodes, man. It's tough. Charles Smith still trying to make a layup. The number of times that the Knicks almost had this team and could not. Jordan returning from his hiatus, dropping 55 in the Garden within a week. I mean, that sort of stuff is tough to relive, Nick. So beware.
It is. But then again, you got to kind of embrace what the Knicks were then in the 90s. The Knicks were very entertaining. They were a very likable, lunch pail team. And unfortunately, they were facing, Michael Jordan, who was a different animal. And Knicks fans, including myself, were frustrated watching him because he became a different animal. And he was a stone blood, cold killer. And, something you'll never see again. I mean, the closest probably was Kobe. I mean, LeBron is not that. So, he's just not that guy. This guy, his drive, what he, I mean, it wasn't even all talent. That's what this thing kind of shows you, that he had the talent. But the guy was a killer on so many levels. It's an interesting show. It really is, because it, there was you don't realize that was a real deep kind of time. I mean, it was basketball was everything was more interesting. Had edge. Today that's the problem. We don't have any. Everything's watered down today. Everything's nice. Everybody's hugging and kissing. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like I'm glad that I was showing my son last night. He was like, wow. I said, you see that? You don't know. Other things happened before you existed.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.